Hey you guys, Morpheus here doing a vlog about the story of my World of Warcraft life. And one of my in real life friends, last time in the previous vlog, he said, talk about your awesome in real life friends. Well, in this case, hey Niels Schoffermeer, if you're watching. Oh, probably not, I said your name, now everyone is gonna stalk you. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm not really gonna talk about you, but you probably recognize some stuff from, I'm gonna talk about you a little bit, though, a little bit. But I'm gonna talk about how we started playing WoW, and how I was such a freaking noob at the start, like really freaking noob, like unimaginably how noob I was. And I'm gonna tell you the whole story from the beginning to the end, on how bad I was and how good I am right now compared to then, at least. So yeah, let's start. It all began in, when World of Warcraft came to existence, when the game came out. Me and my dad and my in real life friends bought it. My dad also, and my uncle actually also. And me and my dad started leveling together. I was a troll hunter. He was, I don't know what he was, and we reached level 12. We leveled together, and we had to read everything. You gotta imagine that back then, you didn't have those tiny bubbles with a 1 in them, or a 2 or a 3, and guidelines, and an arrow, or whatever, and like blue zones on the map that showed you where you needed to be. Also no sparkly fucking fancy shit around items that you needed to pick up. I don't know if that was true actually, if there was that, or if that already was in the game or not. But I think there was like no help at all doing questing. You just had to read, like, okay, there is a cave in the northwest of whatever, the Valley of Honor, and you have to go in there and talk to Diddly-Doo and do a mission, go there, and then find a rare item that some of these boars drop, and you had to kill like 10 boars for one fucking item. You know, that's how it went. You had to read everything and analyze it, and then just go there and hope you can find it. You had to Google all the time, like, where is it, you know, and then look at the map and go back in game. That's how you quested. Later on, there were some add-ons that helped you leveling. That basically actually, like Blizzard took over that function of the add-on in the real game right now. But I didn't have any add-ons or something. So I leveled in the first, couple of, with the first levels I leveled with my father. And I think we reached level 12 or something. Maybe even less than 12. And my dad was like, oh my god, this is freaking boring as hell. Really fucking boring. So he stopped. He was like, I'm not gonna do this grinding shit. It like takes no skill at all to do, and it's super boring, no brain. He just rather did like strategy games or shit like that. My friend, in the meanwhile, already. I think I was first with leveling. Yeah, I leveled faster. I started sooner than my friend, in real life friend, I think. So then I leveled really slow. I was leveled, I don't know, 30 or something. Then my in real life friends started leveling. Maybe I was 25 or something. And then my in real life friends started leveling. And he was gaining up on me. And you have to imagine, or you have to keep in mind, I mean, that I was dyslexic. I'm still dyslexic, actually. That doesn't mean that I'm stupid or that I see letters flying in between each other or something. No. I'm doing a university study at the moment. I'm not stupid. I can read perfectly. But if I read for a very long period of time, I get really, really tired. I lose my concentration. I just can't do it. I just can't read for a long time. I get really tired. And that's my dyslexia, I guess. And also when it comes to spelling, I'm really bad at spelling in Dutch. I'm pretty good at spelling in English, actually, but that's because the rules in English are easier. English is really easy to understand, and it's almost intuitive how you spell certain shit. And in Dutch there are like so many exceptions and shit like that. It's a really hard language actually when it comes to that spelling. But yeah, so that was my dyslexia. So I didn't really want to quest because reading, you had to read a lot for questing, and I didn't like that. I was a total noob, so I didn't do any dungeons. I did do a few dungeons, but I did like mostly it was just grinding. And I know you might be thinking, what the fuck, this guy grinded? Yeah, it was total fucking South Park all over again. The scene where they're like, oh, let's just slay 1 million boars? That was me. That was really me. And Niels, if you're watching, you probably can confirm this, that there was a place in the south of Thousand Needles. There was this salt plain, this white plain, and there was basilisks. There was this camp at the back, and there were some basilisks there, and I leveled there for days, for weeks. I leveled so long there. I was just like, okay, I have 5 more bars of experience that I need to do. That's how many? Okay, like I get like 200 experience from 1 kill, so I need probably like 300 more basilisk kills. That was how I was leveling. So pretty retarded. And I was also doing random shit, like really random shit. I was just, when I got like 3 gold already, I was like, oh, I got 3 gold! And I went to the auction house and I bought some random fucking shit. I was a hunter, okay? You know, you can wear leather as a hunter, and I fucking wore cloth, because I thought it looked more awesome. It wasn't even a better item, it was like totally fucking rubbish. But because it looked better, with like a color scheme or something else that I fucking made up. I was feeling like a badass because I looked good. Good because everyone saw that I was like a complete noob. But yeah, I thought I looked good or whatever. So I was happy. And so I spent all my gold on fucking items that I didn't need. And I had this gold set. I remember this gold set. I was completely golden. Freaking gay. And I was feeling like a badass. I was like, oh yeah, I'm a ninja. And I was just jumping around. Where was it? Like the Barrens. Yeah, I was jumping around in a golden cloth set or something. In the Barrens, feeling like a badass as a hunter. Completely fucked up. So then the basilisk thing, leveled a lot. And I'm already getting sore of talking. So, I leveled a lot there, and by then my friend, my in real life friend, who was like 20 levels behind at least, already gained up on me. Actually was already level 60 when I was still level 40 or something. After trying really hard, I managed to get to level 47. That was my maximum level on my hunter. My in real life friend was already level 60, you know, doing shit as hunter. Well, he was also a hunter. And he was doing raids and shit. Not so much PvP, I think. Mostly raids. And I was just doing random shit. Still, I was doing random shit. Grinding mobs. And well, I stopped at that moment. I was just too noobed for the game. I was completely fucked up. And to be honest, I had my focus on other games. Because I was quite good at shooters. At Counter-Strike 1.6. And later on, a Modern Warfare series. The series Call of Duty 4 and 6. Anyways, so I had my focus on other things. Also, I really liked strategy games back then. So I played Command & Conquer Generals, was pretty good at it. It destroyed most people with some amazing rushing techniques or tactics on the internet. Stuff like that. So I really liked strategy games and shooters. And World of Warcraft was out of fashion, I guess. And then this dude came to our internet cafe, because my dad had an internet cafe, you know, game cafe, where people could game and shit, and I was also playing there all the time. And then this guy came there and said, I want to sell my World of Warcraft account because I'm not doing anything with it. It's level 60 warrior. Actually, he didn't want to sell it. He just gave it actually away. He just wanted to give it away. My dad said, nah, we can buy it though. So we kind of bought it. He kind of bought it for me. So I had this account now with the level 60 warrior. I was fucking happy. And then you think, oh, he's finally gonna raid and do PvP. Nah. What I did was totally random. Again. I was like the worst World of Warcraft player ever. I just went to a random camp in fucking, I don't know where. In Scythalis or I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know which region. Or maybe Blasted Lands or whatever. Just went to a random zone and started slaying trolls. Just some mongoloid NPCs that did no harm to anyone. And I just started fucking killing them. For hours. I was just farming them. And I didn't even need an item from them. I didn't even need an item or some points or whatever. I just killed them because I was like, yo, I'm a warrior. Got a big axe. You know, that was me. That was me back then. I was a complete mongoloid. Oh, I was such a noob. And, well, I didn't do anything useful with my warrior. Like, nothing at all. And then this guy came back and he was like, yo, I actually want my account back. So we resold him his own account for the same amount. And I didn't have anything anymore. No warrior, no hunter. Well, I still had my hunter if I reactivated that account. But I didn't feel like it. Then TBC came out and I totally skipped the TBC phase. Completely. I didn't do anything in the TBC phase. In the meanwhile, my in real life friend, Niels, if you're watching, he was like one of the best hunter raiders in the guild or in the server. I don't know anymore. And by the way, back then guilds were a thing. Like now guilds is just a way to, you know, if you have a level 50 guild, level 25 guild, I mean, what the fuck is that? Anyways, then you're happy because you get a level advantage, you know, experience bonus, and you fly faster, you know, with the kites and shit. So that's the purpose of a guild now. And maybe if you're in a good guild, to find partners for arena, if you're in a really good guild. But if you're in an average guild, nothing happens. Back then a guild was like major shit, you know. You did shit together with your guild. You had a status and a fucking, you had just a fucking status in your guild. And you went on doing shit, not only raiding and BGs together and stuff like that, but you also said, yeah, we're gonna, you know, invade Stormwind, or we're gonna, I was Horde back then actually. I really loved being Horde back then. We're gonna invade Stormwind, kill everyone, you know, that's the shit you did with your guild. You did funny shit, came all together at the same spot, mount up and just, whee! You know, that was also a thing. When I was Noob, it took so long before I had a mount. I think I never got a mount actually. Maybe I did actually, but it was like, I don't know how much gold it was back then, but back then it was more than it is now. Now, of course. God, let's drink again. So, back then it was more in comparison, but I spent all my money on fucking gear that doesn't mean anything and looked awesome. So I could never buy a mount. But anyways, that was something guilds did, you know, just jump around on your mount, make a video maybe about it, you know, do funny shit. Guilds were really a community, a really close community. I think that feels gone right now. It feels like guilds are not important anymore. And I think if you want to make World of Warcraft more exciting again, the guild period where guilds meant something was a pretty fun period. Like, it was more social. And now it's just boring. Anyways, so he was like successful with this hunter. And then Wrath of the Lich King came. And I actually started playing again, but not on live, on private servers. The reason for me starting to play it again is because I still saw my friend playing, and back then I think he already started leveling, or he already leveled a druid, so he actually had a druid. I think he played Resto, or did he play Balance? I think Resto. I don't know. I don't know anymore. He was like pro on his druid. I don't know if that was Cataclysm or Wrath of the Lich King, but anyways, at some point he had a druid. I can imagine he started in Wrath of the Lich King and he was still good in Cataclysm, I guess. Not good PvP wise, but he was like a PvEer, like all the way. And I saw him constantly playing WoW and I was like, fuck, I want to do it again. So I started playing on private servers after seeing a couple of videos. Back then, I came into my flavor of the month re-rolling period, I guess. I was like a total noob and I've kind of wanted to touch PvP, see how PvP is, but because I was such a noob and didn't know anything about the game, I was like, I need a class that is really good to play, that you can one-shot people and no skill required. That was what I needed. So I was looking on, you know, internet, like the most overpowered class in Wrath of the Lich King, and there was this video on YouTube that got me inspired to play something. It was Boom, Arcane Mage. The guy's just called Boom, I don't know. The video is called Boom Arcane Mage, I think. Level 80. It was on the song Dope, I'm Back. You know, I'm back. You know, I'm back for emotion. I'm back to new lies. I'm back to or something. I don't know the lyrics. And then it's like boom. And what is again? Fuck, how does it go again? And then boom. And then you saw this, like an Arcane Mage has like Arcane Barrage. That's not the thing, you know. Or Arcane no. You have the missiles, Arcane Missiles. That's not the thing, not Arcane Blast. But you have this thing that goes, you know, at someone and that does a major crit. Back then at least, and he had like a compilation of the biggest crits of that thing. And I saw that and I was like, whoa, he hit like 10k or more or whatever. That was like huge back then, or I don't know what numbers he had, I don't know anymore. But I was like, fuck, I need to play Arcane Mage. So I started playing a bit Arcane Mage, totally failed at it of course. And then, you know, came like I said before, I gave my flavor of the month re-rolling thing. I kept looking for overpowered shit, so I went from mage to rogue. I played rogue a really long time, but it was kind of boring in BGs because you have to stay stealth. And back then you didn't do a lot of damage, it seems, to plate guys. I don't know, maybe I should have stacked other gems or something, but it felt like you were quite weak against plate guys, like paladins or warriors. So you always went for clothies, you know, like Warlock or shit like that. So it felt like I was playing some kind of pussy, basically. It felt like I was playing a pussy. So I switched from Rogue into Warlock, actually. It was the first time that I played Warlock. I started a bit as Affliction in BGs because it did major damage and you could kill people quite fast with all the dots. And then I switched to Destruction, actually. Because of one guy that made an awesome guide series. It was combined with machinima stuff at the start and then just an awesome series. I can still watch it. It's by Zuku, Z-U-U-K-U-U, I think. Destruction Warlock guide. Just look at that. I think that was, or was it Cataclysm? I think it was level 80, right? That guide. But at some point I switched to Destruction because of that guide. And actually I also saw a video back then about Demonology Warlock, but I didn't really start playing Demonology Warlock just yet. It was a video by Olin, with the O with the double dots above it. Olin, the Demonology Warlock, level 80. And he had actually the same as the Arcane Mage. He had some death metal or something on the background. And then he just showed Soulfire crits. That was the only thing he did. And he got like 1.5 million views or something. Fucking crazy. One of the most viewed videos ever, I think, on YouTube, as when it comes to World of Warcraft videos. At least it's viewed a lot. So maybe some of you guys know it, Olin, the Demonology Warlock. Maybe not. There was a gnome Warlock, and he was awesome. Gnome Demolock. That was also actually also why I'm still thinking about maybe also going gnome, because gnome locks is fucking awesome. It is. And someone else on YouTube constantly reminds me, go gnome, and I know, but like human is just way better. But maybe I switch gnome. So anyways, these videos inspired me. I switched to Destruction, played Destruction for a while, became really good at it, dueling wise. I became a dueling hero, I guess, as Destruction Warlock. Didn't do any arena yet, not even, like a little bit of a BG stuff maybe, but not a lot. And then I switched back to another class and shit, and over again. I played maybe a little bit of Demo, but I don't think so. Maybe just a few games and it sucked or something, and then I went Destro. And then came Cataclysm. Still played on private servers. I switched, oh yeah, by the way, this was also the period that I switched private servers all the fucking time. I can go to any private server at this time still. Go to any random private server website. Log in with my most used username and password. And I swear, I can log into every fucking private server site. Because every fucking site I have an account. And also on Molten WoW. Molten WoW was the final private server that I played on. I was called Maximus. Maximus the Warrior. Like a gladiator name, you know. Maximus the Warrior. I played Fury Warrior. Because back then you could easily one-shot people as Fury Warrior in that patch in Cataclysm. And I also had a demo log, I think. I guess. Maybe I can actually log in and see if I still have that demo log. That would be cool. But I started dueling a lot, I guess. Again. And I felt like an Elitejerk at some point, because there was this guild on Molten WoW, and in this guild you can only join if you killed 2 of the officers, and that was pretty hard because they were pretty good at dueling. There was also one Fury Warrior that beat everyone, and I had to defeat him, and there was another guy that I needed to defeat. I think I defeated one of the officers, and the other one I got down to 10%, and then they said, "Nah, you're good enough, you know, you can join the guild." So I was fucking happy, felt like an Elitejerk, thought I was like super good or anything. I totally wasn't good. But yeah, I thought I was good. And actually I became, at least in dueling, I became kind of a duel hero. I did everything at the right moment when it came to dueling, you know, I knew my class quite well as Fury Warrior. I didn't do a lot of arena, but I started doing a little bit of arena. 2v2 as Fury Warrior, just blowing up shit instantly, because back then the burst was insane. I got some gear, almost full gear, full elite gear, or you know, the final gear that you could get in Cataclysm. And I felt pretty good. I had this green items, the green set. Ruthless or something, was it? I don't know anymore. But I was pretty good at Warrior, you could say. Not really, because everyone sucked at that server, I think. But back then I felt really good. And then it was the end of Cataclysm, and my friend was still doing World of Warcraft all the time, and he was like really good on his druid. Also one of his best healers of the guild or the server or whatever. Back then we were on Tyrellion Horde, which is now a complete dead server. It's also funny to see that, you know, like the whole world changed in Cataclysm, and also servers went dead and other servers came alive again or whatever. It's fun to see those kind of changes. So then I started my adventure again on Alliance as Mage. In the end of Cataclysm, and I played Arcane Mage. Fire Mage, which was really fun in dungeons and shit because you had a lot of AoE, so you killed everything quite fast, which was wonderful. And then Fire Mage got nerfed. I don't know how exactly anymore because I was still a noob back then, so I didn't understand anything about PvP and like how nerf worked or what kind of stats were important for Fire Mages. But I think they got nerfed. Anyways, I don't know anymore, but Fire Mage was not viable anymore to play. They removed some really nice spells that made my AoE super awesome, so dungeons were a lot more boring. And then I stopped. I had a level 85 Fire Mage with like 1 or 2 pieces for like arena pieces gear, and then I stopped. And then I wasn't really active anymore. And I don't remember when I started my Warlock. But I do remember that at the start of, I think, in Mr. Pandaria, so later. I didn't do a lot of 2v2 yet. I didn't have any achievement as my Fire Mage. My maximum rating was maybe like 300 or something. So I was still noob, and I was still in Tyrellion. And then in early Mr. Pandaria, I leveled my Mage to like 88 or something. And then I stopped, and I was totally discouraged to play Mage. Mage was maybe also bad in 5.1, I don't know anymore, but like Mage wasn't the thing anymore. At least not Fire Mage. And not for me. I don't know, I just got bored of it, I guess. Then I started leveling my Warlock. And I really started doing PvP in 5.3, but I guess maybe in 5.2 I reached level 90 at least or something. Maybe did a few BGs and arena matches, but I really didn't do a lot in 5.2. In 5.3, that was when I started. So I never played Demonlock in the glory days. And when I leveled my Lock, I just knew I had to be Demonology. Reasons for that were partially because of the video that I saw, like when I was younger, Olin, the Demonology Warlock, when he was level 80, and I was still inspired by that video. Ooh, and I need to drink something again. So I was still inspired by that video to play Demonlock. And Demolocks were supposed to be really good. At least some people said that it was really good, but that was 5.1. And in 5.2, and still 5.2, and in 5.3 they got a major nerf, like Chaos Wave got nerfed. Even in 5.2 I think they already got nerfed. Maybe I started in 5.2, I don't know. I started after they nerfed Demolock. So I started exactly in the wrong patch to start, actually. Or, well, it was still decent back then, but not as good as it used to be. So people said it was OP, but it was already nerfed. So I started Demolock. And also I started it because I wanted to be an underdog class that no one else played. And back then Demolock was kind of an underdog class, or it became an underdog class. Like less and less people start playing it. More and more people start playing Affliction again, or Destruction. And also I saw that not a lot of people on YouTube made Demolock videos. So I think I had that in the back of my mind. Like, okay, no one is doing Demonology Warlock shit. Maybe I can do that in the future. And then on Tyrellion, I know I reached like insane ratings, like 1400. I was like, wow, 1400 rating, wow, that's really high. I remember making a screenshot about me being 1200. I made a screenshot of that. That's so embarrassing. I made a screenshot of that, thinking that that was a nice moment to keep, to you know, keep for later or something, like 1200. I don't even know if I still have that screenshot. Probably not anymore, which is a pity, I guess. But yeah, and then I got like a bit higher, you know, 1400 in 2v2, 1550 with a friend of mine who a Warrior Demolock in 2s, which was horrible to play. 1550, I was so freaking happy to get it. And I can remember this moment where I was dueling outside of Stormwind, because I went from with my a mage or something. I went from first Horde Troll, I started as a Horde Troll. Then my mage was a Lions Human, and this Warlock back then was also still a Lions Human, this Warlock. And we were on Turalyon, and there was this guy in front of Stormwind, a DK, and I dueled him, and he totally wrecked me. And I inspected him, and I saw that he was 1800 rated. 1800. And that was pretty high for Turalyon, because Turalyon is dead. Most people do PvE or random shit, not really PvP. So I was like, what a fucking high, 1800. Oh my god, will I ever be that high? And now 1800 is just average, or even noob. Arguably noob, but I rather see it as just average and not noob. So let's just say 1800 is average. And I was like, what the fuck, that's so good, what the hell? And he was like, dude, that's not even high. People on Storm skill are like 2k plus. And I was like, no way, 2k plus is way too high, man. You got to be kidding me. Those people can't be 2k, that's like rank 1 or something. That was what I thought. I really thought that 2k was rank 1 and like 1800 was like already fucking good. And I felt like a boss. When I got my 1750 achievement in 2s, I was like fucking boss. Then I went Storm skill Horde again with my Warlock. Played together with Thickly, a Restoshami that recently commented on one of my videos. That he missed our 2v2 together. Yeah, that was nice. And then I got to, after really trying hard, I got to 1750 of course, and then after that to 2k. And when I came to Stormscale, I indeed saw that a lot of people were 2k actually, so he was not lying. Then I got to 2k into, but back then Demo locks were still kind of good. It was just before the major nerfs, you know, the really annoying, painful nerfs of Demo lock. So 2k in 2s was actually quite easy back then. So I got that shit with Restoshami, and I was such a noob. I clicked every spell I had. And I also backpedaled. I backpedaled and clicked everything I had. Just all my spells I clicked. So that shows how noob I was, and got 2k but with clicking and backpedaling as Demolock. Because Demolock was pretty good in 2v2 with his one-shot capabilities. But we had to try hard though. I also tried hard with my clicking and shit, but I was so noob. Oh my god, I was such a noob. So anyways, I didn't have any 3v3 experience. I got to like 1650 in 3s. And that's actually one of my older videos on YouTube, so if you want you can check it out. It's like a video on the party 2012 or something, I mean 13. I reached 1640 rating or something, and I was like, yeah, fucking high. Well, eventually I met Puddle, the Holy Pella on YouTube, after I already had some videos on my YouTube channel that were complete fucked up and bad. And he said, do you want to play 3v3 with me? And actually no one really asked me before. He was pretty good, so I was like, well, you know, he was like 1750. We were both 1750 in 3s. So we started playing together, and we searched that 3s made for a very long time. Like we went through a lot of different mages, trying out a lot of different mages, and we finally found Flamin'. And together, Puddle, me, and Flaming got to 2k eventually after trying pretty hard. And I also have a screenshot of that still. I still have that screenshot somewhere. I was super happy achieving that, and suddenly I felt really good. Like, I was like, wow, 1900 is so good, wow, 2k is so fucking high. And then, still on Stormscale Horde, we reached 2.2k as MLP. I made a video about it. I also made a video about the 2k achievement, but also about the 2.2k achievement as demo, so you can all maybe remember that video or watch that video again. That was a really nice, were some really nice moments to get those achievements. Now I'm looking back, you know, I'm 2350 right now on my main. Not yet 2.4k, but you know, we're getting there. And if I look back now, I'm like, oh my god, I was such a noob. From a guy who didn't know how to level, who was like jumping around in Grimoire with cloth, and he should have like bought leather, you know, as a hunter. And I didn't know anything about PvP. I didn't do anything. I really didn't play the game, actually. till now, and now I'm pretty good. But I bet that if I still play this game in a year, I will probably look back at this moment and be like, fuck, I was so noob back then. But for now, I'm pretty happy at least. So, hope you guys like this story about me from noob till pro. Not really pro, but better at least. Semi-pro. From let's call it from noob till semi-pro. The story. And actually, I challenge you, or dare you, or just encourage you to maybe also make a video about this. How you started playing WoW. If you're a big YouTuber, then please do it if you see this. And leave like a video in the description of this video. Or I mean in the comment section of this video, just leave your video. And we can all see how everyone started, which might be fun to see. Anyways, I like to see how other people also started playing World of Warcraft. It's just nice to see how other people's experience was. So if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe of course, and leave a comment or whatever. Talk about your experience nonetheless, even though if you don't make a video, just talk about maybe your previous experiences in World of Warcraft, how you started and shit, how you experienced the guild phase, where guilds were really important or not. Maybe you never had an important, were not in a guild, or never experienced the part of the game in which guilds really meant something still. Maybe you think guilds still mean something. Just leave any comment about that. So it's almost 6 o'clock, meaning that the Netherlands is going to play in the World Cup against Australia. Last match we did a 5-1 to Spain, the current World Cup winners of last time. The world champions, you could say then. And that was a pretty awesome freaking match. I was so fucking happy to see it. I wonder how we do against Australia, because they have nothing to lose. Like, really nothing. So I wonder how the Netherlands is going to perform. So like 40 more minutes. And I still need to finish a report for school, so I'm going to do that too. I hope you guys like this video. I'm just saying it again and again. But here we go. And see you guys next time. Morpheus out.